Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.
Welcome back to Nelson Radio. I'm with my guest host, Brad Klein from Keller Williams Realty. This segment presented by my company, Bram, Academy Mortgage, providing our lock and shop rate guarantee, protecting today's rates while your customers are out looking for their new home. You can call or click 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or click on nelsonradio.com. Bram, we have a great guest that's been a participant and a sponsor of our show, and he's out of the Glendora Claremont Marketplace, Alexander Villa from Century 21 Masters. Alexander, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Nelson. Pleasure to be here.
So, there may be these thoughts out there that as two professional real estate agents, I should be seated between you, fending you off in each other's marketplace. But I actually am excited to have both of you on, not only to gain your insights, but to recognize that there is this professional collaboration in the real estate community where you guys are helping each other's market.
Nelson, listing agents rely on good buyer's agents, and good buyer's agents rely on good, competent listing agents. The relationship is very simpatico. It's not confrontational among good professionals.
Alexander, up close and personal, provide a snapshot of who you are and where your values are.
Well, I live out in the Foothill Communities, Claremont and Glendora area. That's my marketing segment. I'm mostly a listing agent, and I've been doing so for several years in the Claremont area. I refused to take foreclosure contracts when that was the name of the game, and have continued through my career to be representing listing sellers with standard sales and meet their needs.
And I think that is a character decision in that there's plenty of people that focus exclusively on the short sale market and the foreclosure market, and they brought a definite resolution to people that were financially upside down. But there was also a segment of the community out there that were just preying on the injured, preying on the people that had experienced financial hardship. And I don't know, it's in the mortgage sector, it became predatory lending. Bram, did we see predatory real estate practices?
Not in my office. No. I'm sure we did. I know we did, but like our guest as well, Alexander. I've been working with standard sales, more equity sellers, people with that have been in their homes for many years, and now for a life reason they have to move on.
Well, it's a changing marketplace, that we know. Foreclosures are on the decline, short sales are on the decline, equity is being restored. But I wanted to ask you a question, Alexander, about the inventories. Obviously, now we're seeing inventories grow. Rates have moved up a little bit in the summer months. Do you see some sort of quote-unquote normalcy being restored to the marketplace?
Nelson, thankfully, inventory is up twofold in the Glendora, Claremont, 210 area there west of Pasadena. We're up twofold plus. It's caused about a 1/3 reduction. These are official stats. We just went through the Carrots database. About a 1/3 reduction in multiple offer situations. So things are coming back to normal. Buyers, regular buyers, not cash buyers, and we'll discuss cash buyers more in a moment. They do have some hope. Young families, I'm currently negotiating for the first time in almost 3 years. An LAPD officer is trying to purchase a home down the street from one of my listings, and he's going to be using a VA loan, and I think we got that wrapped up. So some definite positive things happening with inventory and the buying process.
Excellent. Alexander, Nelson and I see the strain of taxation on the American public, lots of political promise on tax relief, but on the bottom line, people's paychecks are still getting squeezed. Obamacare, of course, right around on the horizon. How do you coach your customers on affordability in your area?
My average client is retired, 60 plus, and their biggest concern with taxes is the current assault on Prop 13. I think that would have, in my area, that would have the biggest, in my market segment in my area, that would have the biggest impact, as I believe that would increase inventory. If that property tax was eliminated, that would increase inventory with unforeseen consequences.
You're listening to Nelson Radio. I'm with my guest host, Graham Klein from Keller Williams Realty. We're with Alexander Villa with Century 21 Masters up in the Glendora area. This segment brought to you by Academy Mortgage, providing our lock and shop rate guarantee, where you can protect today's interest rate while you're looking for property and have that waiting for you at the finish line. Give us a shout, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or click through to us at nelsonradio.com. I saw we've all seen an influx of international home buyers here, and in the coastal communities, there's been an influx of this particular group, and I learned recently about Chinese immigrant buyers under the AB 35 Immigrant Act that is allowing them to, if they haven't meet a certain set of conditions, they're actually awarded a green card by purchasing real estate here in Southern California or in the U.S. Do you run into that in Glendora?
Nelson, I've heard the same stories, and at least in the Glendora, Claremont area, it's still somewhat of a myth. Hard stats are international cash purchases in my area have been only about 20% year to date. So we haven't seen that yet from international Chinese money. If I could give you an anecdotal story real quick.
Yeah.
Just had a nurse purchase a property cash, and she beat out a couple other buyers and one of my listings in Claremont, and people just, the agents called me and buyers called me, who beat us out, who got the house, and everybody just assumed it was overseas cash money. It wasn't. It was a nurse. She had a well-earned, hard, paid-for $1 million home in North Claremont with her husband. There was a divorce. Her half was the $500,000. She purchased a smaller home for the $500,000 cash. I think of the last 7 or 8 I've closed in that neighborhood in the last couple of months, we've only had one cash. It was international money, but they were also the agency that secures leases for the professors at the Claremont colleges. For those of you who don't know, Claremont has a reputation. They call it Ivy League West. There's 5 very well-respected colleges at the Claremont University campus at the consortium. So the agency that purchased that one property on Kent was actually the one that leases back to the professional. So as far as this year goes, I can say that I haven't even seen one international investment company that just came to purchase a property there and turn it into some lease. It still an urban myth where I'm at.
And Brad, maybe that's another signal, a rough barometer that we see in the market normalizing, where a traditional home purchase, you have equity that's going into the transaction, buying with financing, and people qualifying in the restraints of what they can actually afford. Maybe that's a good signal.
Yeah, definitely a great signal. We've got more homes coming on the market down here as well in Orange County, and our traditional buyers are coming back out of the woodworks as well. A little bit more coastal. It's a different, could be a different buyer as well. We are seeing some foreign investments as well, but probably not as much more inland.
Great insight, Alexander. Thanks for sharing that with us and just clarifying your ear to the rail on what's going on in the marketplace, and that there are some similarities between the coastal communities and the area that you focus in with Century 21 Masters. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Nelson.
I'm Nelson. I'm with my guest host, Graham Klein from Keller Williams Realty, presented by Academy Mortgage, providing our lock and shop rate guarantee. Call us today. Graham and I can be reached direct, 888-888-2136, 888-888-2136, or clicking through to nelsonradio.com. We'll be right back.
Nelson is a licensed lender under the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 331060.
This is Nelson from Nelson Radio, and it's important that we talk about a very serious issue. We had bad lending practices that led to the mortgage meltdown, but now we've got the challenge of deplorable customer service coming out of the meltdown. Bottom line, getting a new loan can be like pulling teeth without Novocaine. I've got the solution. Academy Mortgage and my team are injecting into the industry real performance and real accountability. Here are the facts. Appraisals in less than a week. rate guarantees that can improve if the market goes down, purchase transactions with our market-exclusive close-on-time guarantees, and refinance transactions in as little as 30 days. Who would have thunk? Guaranteed rates and guaranteed performance from your mortgage lender. Call me, Nelson, an accountable loan expert for nearly 3 decades, direct at 888-888-2136. That's Nelson at 888-888-2136, 888-888-2136, or at strongcreditrewards.com.